Sunday, July 30, 2023. We are ending the seventh month of 2023 with a bang. This movie, Barbie, wow. It is this summer's Top Gun Maverick for sure. Barbie added $93 million this weekend. It's up to 351.4. Oppenheimer, not that far behind, 46.2. It's at 174.1. It's going to pass the totals of so many Christopher Nolan movies. Not quite Inception yet. Inception had a lot of legs and made 292 for Warner Brothers back in 2010, even with a $62 million start, something like that. But it will pass the total of Interstellar. It will pass the total of Dunkirk and several other Christopher Nolan movies. I think Batman Begins and some others coming up. So, yeah, these two movies. I mean, my goodness. The Barbenheimer phenomenon continues into week two. I've got Donnie here with me in two forms. We're going to get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which I saw yesterday. How will it do this week? I will let you know coming up. As always, if you're watching live on YouTube Live, send in your questions, your comments, your thoughts. Haunted Mansion opened this weekend. I didn't love the movie. I think Lakeith Stanfield is very good. Lakeith Stanfield kept me going with Haunted Mansion because his character at least has some depth. He provides an interesting perspective. Everybody else, Danny DeVito, Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish, it's pretty same old with their type of goofy characters. Lakeith actually brought a little something to this Haunted Mansion movie. Otherwise, kind of bored. It's extensive, it's long, it's repetitive, and it doesn't have a lot of suspense or mystery to it. $24.2 million for Haunted Mansion. Now, that's about what the 2003 Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy did back 20 years ago. So, adjusted for inflation, not as many people went to this Haunted Mansion as the last Haunted Mansion, and that had a 5-day start that was in the low $30 million range. Of course, a lot of people are saying, twice now Disney has opened Haunted Mansion movies not in Halloween time. The first Haunted Mansion 20 years ago opened over Thanksgiving. This one in July. Of course, I figured out a while ago that they wanted to do reverse psychology here. They want this Haunted Mansion movie on Disney Plus for Halloween, and they're going to get it. It'll be on there for sure, especially now that it's not a gigantic movie out of the gate. Post Shanna. Are you predicting many Oscar nominations for Barbie and Oppenheimer? Cillian Murphy, gotta be a Best Actor nominee for Oppenheimer. That's a great performance. It's immersive, there's depth, there's nuance. Yes, he's gotta be a nominee. Now, will the movie be up for picture? Christopher Nolan for director, Robert Downey Jr. supporting actor, Emily Blunt supporting actress, we'll see. Who knows? It's too early to call. Barbie, Best Picture, Director, Actress, Supporting Actor, Ryan Gosling, people seem to have buzz for, even though it's a one-note role and a one-note performance. Probably he'll be nominated for sure for costumes, makeup, and hair and production design. Maybe one of the songs. It's too early. It's just too early. The only one I really want to push right now is Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Everything else, it's too early to call. The Oscar nominations aren't for close to 6 months. And who knows with these writer strikes and actor strikes and everything, if we're going to have an Academy Awards. It could end up being Lara Spencer or somebody from ABC News hosting an Academy Award winners announcement ceremony in prime time. That's what it could end up being at this point. Who knows what's going to happen? But for now, I hope Cillian Murphy is nominated. And I also, the lovely Emily Blunt, I hope she's nominated for supporting actress for Oppenheimer. We will see what happens. So in fourth this weekend is Sound of Freedom with another 12.4 million. It's at 149. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Here's the problem. The problem is this. Number one, you're coming off a Top Gun Maverick, which I think was such a phenomenon. People are like, do we have to go to another Tom Cruise movie again right away if you're not a diehard Mission Impossible fan? Number two, the Barbenheimer factor, and it got screwed in the calendar. It did. But number three, I do believe there are some people who have not wanted to sit through the 2-hour, 43-minute Mission Impossible movie because it's okay, it's not extraordinary, but also because it's a part one. I really think there are a lot of people who go, it's a part one, I'll catch it on DVD in a few months or down the line or closer to whenever part two finally comes out. It's a part one. I think that might have hurt this movie. Now, Tom Cruise specifically said he did not want a true cliffhanger. The movie is fairly its own movie, even though it's a part one. But still, having that part one in the title, I think, is hurting it. It added 10.7 million this weekend. It's at 139.2. The last Mission Impossible movie, Fallout, made 220, and that was 5 years ago. The one before that made 195. This isn't even going to get to 195. This is even going to have trouble at this point trying to get to the 156-ish of Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Who would have thought that a Mission Impossible movie at this point would lose to a Transformers movie in the same calendar year for Paramount? It's going to be close. Wow. Talk to me. $10 million for A24. They are celebrating today. One of the biggest opens ever for A24. And this movie had a budget of $4.5 million. It made that back in a day and a half. The word of mouth was strong. It did Regal Monday Mystery Movie screenings a couple weeks ago. And the buzz on this movie from film festivals in Australia and just internet buzz. And as I wrote yesterday, horror movies will continue to do well over this period of time, whether they get a lot of press or not, because there will be people who just go to the theater every week. Hey, are you playing a new horror movie? Yes, great. 1 ticket for that, please. People will go to a theater to see a horror movie just because it's a horror movie. Whether it's PG-13 or R, people will go. That's why Universal is still releasing the Exorcist movie in October. That's why some other ones are still on the calendar, because people will go. Saw 10 from Lionsgate, September 29. Same day as Paw Patrol, the mighty movie. So those are still on the calendar, even though Lionsgate and Universal and Sony, they're moving other movies around and switching some dates and taking some movies all the way to next August. My God, Kraven the Hunter. Holy crap, that's moving all the way to August 30, 2024. That's insane. But anyway, the horror movies are staying on the calendar because it's a horror movie. And there are fans who are going to go. And there are more people who are going to go see Talk to Me. It'll expand to more theaters based off of this performance this weekend, and there'll be more people who go. I don't love Talk to Me. I don't think it's a very good movie. It's got a decent hook, but it starts out really slow. It gets so out of control and silly and ridiculous to an ending that sort of was manufactured. I mean, they had the ending in mind. They had to have had the ending in mind and work backwards from it, which does not always work. It's very particular. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Talk to Me, but A24 is thrilled with the $10 million it's made so far. It's already the biggest movie of the year for the studio. Basically tying Past Lives, and now going to make more than Past Lives, which has hit $10 million. So, yeah, could we see Talk to Me too? Talk to Me! Maybe. We'll see. Next up here, $4 million more for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. At 167.1, $150 million less than what the last Indiana Jones movie did. 317, exactly $150 million less than what Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did back in 2008 for Paramount. Wow. Then you've got an Elemental, which made another 3.4 million this weekend. It's at 145. It'll try to get to 150, but the problem is you've got Ninja Turtles, which opens Tuesday. It's already had preview screenings yesterday. I saw it. I'll give you some thoughts in a minute. It had the screenings yesterday. It has more screenings tomorrow night, and then the Tuesday start, and it officially opens Wednesday. It'll have a long opening weekend. We'll see how it does, but Elemental is pretty much done at this point. Unless, like I've been saying, it's the 20-year-old couples and up who go see it, and maybe it'll push it to 150, which would be nice. Insidious: The Red Door added 3.2 million this weekend. It's at 78.1. I guess it's the highest grossing Insidious globally, which means there'll be another one on the way. And then rounding out your top 10 this weekend is Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which added 1.4 million. It's at 378.8. It'll get to 380 at this point. Sony took off the next installment. They took it off the calendar on Friday night. There had been so many stories that have come out about the working conditions on this one, and people saying, how can we possibly work on this other one? I think Haley Steinfeld said, I believe she said somewhere that she hadn't even started working on the voice work for the next one. So, yeah, it was inevitable that we weren't going to get the next Spider-Verse right away, next March, I guess. That was the plan originally, but I think because this one took so much and so much longer, yeah, we will see. Talk about a cliffhanger. I mean, if you haven't seen Spider-Verse yet, sorry, but talk about a cliffhanger. That movie has one. And we may not get the resolution of it for several years. We may not get it ever. It'll depend on what happens over at Sony Pictures Animation. Speaking of animation, the first Slam Dunk from G-Kids has been a global monster hit overseas. This movie's made so much money, and it deserves to. It's a fantastic, immersive experience. If you're a basketball fan, if you're a basketball player, it is unlike any game you have ever witnessed in your life. It's unlike any sports movie I've ever seen. It is raw, it is real, it is shocking in parts, and it is the first Slam Dunk from G-Kids. It made $626,000 here in North America this weekend in 581 theaters. It made more than 1,000 per screen, which for not a lot of marketing is actually pretty good. And look, it's just gravy at this point. It's made so much money overseas. But if you need something to see, it's a lot better than Haunted Mansion and Talk to Me. If you want something new to go see in the theaters, go see the first Slam Dunk if it is playing near you. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I saw it yesterday. Talk about an inspiration from Spider-Verse. It is absolutely inspired by Spider-Verse. Seth Rogen, one of the writers, producers, voice actors, he's all over this movie. You can feel that through the comedy. And Jeff Rose, the director, he co-directed The Mitchells vs. the Machines. There's absolutely Mitchells vs. the Machines vibes with the comedy and with the pacing and with the style of it. And I do think that if you're an older Ninja Turtles fan, you'll probably find it fun. New kids getting into this, I think we'll get into it. There's a lot of action, especially the second half. It's pretty action heavy. They are really setting this up for more. There is a story that came out the other day that Paramount is looking into a sequel. Nickelodeon's looking into a TV series. Look, I've been alive now for so many incarnations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. From the 2007 animated movie from Warner Brothers to the live-action CG combo Megan Fox, Will Arnett movies from Paramount in 2014 and 2016, to the Nickelodeon animated series, from the CG one to the, there was even a spin-off of that or a tweak of that, to the hand-drawn Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series that became the Netflix movie last summer, and now this. So I've seen these characters in several different ways. Of course, there were the live-action movies in the 90s, but now we've got this. It is fun. It is very detailed. There is a lot of comedy. There's a lot of pop culture references. And there's a lot of cool action. Also, very good music. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the music for this, which is very good right from the get-go. Because early on, the Turtles talk about how they wish they had a connection with humans. And the music that accompanies that is really nice. So, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, it opens Tuesday. And I think families are going to go see it. It's going to be a big hit for Paramount for the summer. Will it make more than Mission Impossible and Transformers for Paramount for the summer? We will have to see, but this is the big animated family movie from now through Labor Day. And Paramount will be showing, because they already showed it yesterday, the trailer for Paw Patrol The Mighty Movie, which is still opening September 29th as of now. So Paramount with a good 1-2 animation punch for August, September, and into October. Also opening this weekend, coming up, is Meg 2: The Trench, which is the follow-up to the 2018 Meg movie starring Jason Statham. That movie made $145 million for Warner Brothers. Now, Barbie is doing really well for Warner Brothers. I don't think this Meg 2 is going to make $145 million. I don't. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm looking forward to it this week. Hopefully it's better than the first Meg. I didn't love the first Meg. I thought it was too tame and boring. And I think a lot of people who went to it expected it to be rated R. It was only PG-13, so it could make more money. And expected it to have a lot more going for it. I hope this second Meg is fun. I hope it has a good spirit to it. We will see how it does. When you look at next weekend's box office, Barbie could make another $60 million. Oppenheimer could make another $25. And depending on the Ninja Turtle situation with the Friday-Sunday total versus the whole week total, I don't think Turtles is going to do 60 in the Friday to Sunday. Meg could do 20-something. Ninja Turtles could also do 20 or 30-something. That second place spot is up for grabs. Haunted Mansion could go under 10 million. That second place spot is up for grabs. A lot of summer camps are going to want to go see movies. We'll see if for during the week money, Haunted Mansion or Ninja Turtles gets more of the money. Probably Ninja Turtles because Haunted Mansion's PG-13, though I could see both. As I was watching Haunted Mansion the other night, I was thinking, man, this is a real summer camp movie, even though it's PG-13. Kids into this, for the most part, could be into it as they go see it through their summer camps. But yeah, that second place spot next weekend is up for grabs. Ninja Turtles makes more than Barbie, wow, but I could see that. Lights, have you noticed if one particular rating letter makes your favorite films, like PG or PG-13? Well, I put out my list of the 100 favorite movies the other day. One of my favorite movies can be R, it can be PG-13, it could be PG. Yeah, Scott Stallion, thank you for the question. Yeah, I don't think it has too much of an impact. I mean, look, Frost Nixon, which is probably in my top 20, is rated R, but I saw it when I was 10 years old with parental accompaniment. And it's only rated R for a couple of F-bombs. Really, you could, a 12-year-old could see Frost Nixon and be fine with it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it has too much of an impact. There are G-rated movies and PG-rated movies and PG-13 and R-rated movies on that list. Absolutely. What's the breakdown of the top 100? Is it mostly one rating? No, it's a little bit of everything. I did a top 10. It's on Twitter at LCJ Reviews if you haven't seen it yet. It's also on Instagram at LatesCamJackson, my 100 favorite movies. And I do the top 10 in bold, in alphabetical order. Beauty and the Beast is number 1, the 91 animated film. And then I do the next 90 in alphabetical order, and there's a little bit of everything there. So it's a cool list. Go check it out when we're done here with LCJ Live today. So yeah, that second place spot is up for grabs. In limited release, Dreamin' Wild, which I have seen. This is a new film based on a true story of this family music duo. The performances in it are very good. Casey Affleck, Walton Goggins, Beau Bridges is really good in it. Dreamin' Wild. It's only PG. Interesting you bring up ratings. It's a PG-rated movie, even though it's not for kids. It is a drama, but it's PG. And because there's not much language, no violence, no sex. So yeah, it's a PG-rated drama, which is rare these days. It's not intended for families. And it's really interesting. It's a good film, Dreamin' Wild. Go check it out in theaters. And speaking of Wild, River Wild is on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm going to screen it in the next couple days. Leighton Meester, Adam Brody, Taron Killam, new River Wild movie from Universal Home Entertainment. I do want to mention before we go that I was in a lot of places earlier this week. I was in Indiana. I went to Notre Dame. I'm going to be posting some pictures from that. I went to Regis's grave, which is actually at Notre Dame. Regis was buried at Notre Dame, his beloved Notre Dame. And on the 3rd year anniversary of his passing, I went to his grave, and I'm very glad I did. Also went to Cleveland, saw some movies, went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Christmas Story House, the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. It was epic, and went to some restaurants and some other cool places, saw some of the sports stadiums. Epic trip there. And then went to Jamestown, New York, the National Comedy Center, and saw the exterior of the Lucy and Desi Museum. So it was a lot of fun going to all those places. I'll be posting more pictures over the next several weeks all over social media. It was quite an experience being there at all those places. More, go to lights-camera-jackson.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/lightscamerajackson. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. We do LCJ Live here every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And when we're back here next Sunday, we will see how Ninja Turtles does and Meg 2 up against Barbie, Oppenheimer, Haunted Mansion, and the others. Opening next week nationwide is no longer Gran Turismo, which I have seen. That is now August 25th. So we've got some other movies which I've seen, including Jules, which I watched last night, Medusa Deluxe I have seen, and we've got Last Voyage of the Demeter opening and some other movies, and Heart of Stone, Gal Gadot, is on Netflix on the 11th of August, so we'll preview some of the movies that are coming out for the rest of August. It's an interesting schedule, isn't it, with movies changing, leaving. We've still got some big ones, though. Liam Neeson's got a movie. Vacation Friends 2 is on Hulu. The Liam Neeson movie is Retribution in theaters. Golda, with Helen Mirren, is still coming to theaters. Blue Beetle, Strays, and The Hill with Dennis Quaid is still coming to theaters in August as of now. So there's still a lot of movies in August, and Gran Turismo now on the 25th nationwide. Things are moving around a little bit. but we'll see how the rest of the summer goes. Thank you for watching LCJ Live. Have a good Sunday. Have a good week. Welcome to the month of August pretty soon, and I'll see you back here for LCJ Live. Take care. Bye-bye.